right, it's Way Up. I'm here. Mano's here.
Way up, baby.
Shout out to Jasmine's Caribbean. We just had that for lunch.
Right. Shout out to Jasmine.
Every Wednesday.
Shout out to the guy, Al.
We get food up here. Shout out to Lloyd and Jasmine. All right, now let's get into some Yachty. So Lil Yachty recently said he wished he never spoke on the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap beef. Now, he was on the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz, and he was referencing what he had said previously when he commented on the battle. Here's what he had said previously.
Well, I think people just hate on Drake because he's the guy. It's no, like,
I feel like there's something extra on it.
It's also probably everyone's. I mean, it's also that guy, though.
How hard was that beef for you? Like,
I just wish I had never spoke on it.
You know, he feels like they're not journalists necessarily when they comment on things. Here's what he said.
Kendrick clearly had a lot more animosity, and you felt it in every song that he dropped. Because Drake dropped great records, but also, let's be fair, Drake was deemed a loser in this battle before it started.
Was he?
I feel like that. I feel like the space that Drake is in, people had already taken, you know, like they was tired of him in some kind of way and wanted to see him.
When you're on top, people want to see you.
Yeah, they want to see you bleed a little bit.
But Drake has a huge fan base. Look at OVO Eli up here.
Absolutely. But I just feel like
that go out
it didn't matter what he said. Listen, when the first Kendrick record came out, they were saying he lost. The record wasn't out 5 minutes. We was up here.
I felt like people were also saying Kendrick didn't respond. He's taking too long.
Okay,
that was a thing.
That was a thing, right? But as soon as Kendrick responded, they said he lost. No matter what Kendrick said, what he did, now I'm not taking away from those great records because that Not Like Us is the record. But I don't think no matter what Drake did, because I like Family Matters.
Right.
I think Family Matters was super dope, but I think he was already in a space. Yeah, no matter what. No, stop it. No matter what he said, no matter what he did, I think that he was going to come out the loser. I think people kind of wanted to see him lose.
All right, now speaking of somebody who battles, that would be Eminem. And Eminem interviewed himself as Slim Shady versus Marshall Mathers, a younger version of himself. And this was the cover story for Complex. And here is what it sounds like as they go back and forth.
With one era that mattered, mine. Everything that people think of when they think of Eminem is yours truly. From the blonde hair to the middle finger to the jokes, all of it, me. And if we're being honest, the music that you've been dropping since I bounced ain't it. No one gives a about your lyrical miracles. You're scaring the people want to be entertained.
So you think it's entertaining to just be a kid and people off? I've grown up, bro.
Yeah, so interesting to see them talking to him interview himself. And by the way, the death of Slim Shady, the first week sales for that 281,000 equivalent album units. It's the biggest rap debut of 2024. So far. So
nice.
You know, Eminem still do what he do.
I like that single he came out with when he was dressed like Robin.
Oh, and listen, I want to say that album,
that reminded me of old
that
Eminem.
whole album goes hard, and he is not holding back. You're like, ooh, you can't say that. All right, and 50 Cent, he is in the Hollywood Reporter. They did an extensive interview, and just to give you guys some cliff notes on what he was talking about, he talked about finally getting invited to the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show. They couldn't get him to do it. They couldn't get Eminem to do it without him. So they had to. He said Roc Nation did not want him there.
Wow.
He also went to the shoot with $3.5 million in cash on him and said he was inspired by Muhammad Ali to do that. In the 1964 Sports Illustrated cover, he had $1 million in winnings on that cover, so that's why he was inspired to do that. He also talks about several shows in development for Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, and BET. And he's also launching a FAST channel. He's building a film studio in Shreveport, which we all know about that. And he's also releasing a novel about a black female Texas Ranger. All of these different things that he has going on. But he talks about his documentary about Diddy as well in this interview. He said, I've been very vocal about not going to puffy parties and doing ish like that. He said he watched the video of Diddy attacking Cassie. He said first he denied that it even happened, then the tape comes out, so that means everything that he says is a lie. When someone watches that, if they have a daughter and they can imagine her being under those circumstances, that ish is crazy. And he also talks about the people that protected Diddy that were around him, so I'm hearing that's also going to be included in the documentary. And he's working on this with Emmy-winning filmmaker Alex Stapleton, who did Shut Up and Dribble and Hello Privilege, It's Me, Chelsea. So he said they're going to be telling this story for real.
Right.
All right, so you can read that full interview. It's pretty good. by the time. He also talks about his child's mother, Daphne, and the allegations that she tried to say that he physically abused her and how she took that down pretty quickly, but he didn't want to get too much into it because they do have a child together.
Right.
But he did discuss that as well.
Is that out?
Yeah, it's out right now. Here's the full interview. It's long. All right, well, that is your Yachty. When we come back, we have Ask Ye, 800-292-5150. Any question you have, we're here to help. Yeah, Glow.